Good morning, everyone. Let's call the order of the Board of Examiners meeting scheduled for today, December 11th, 2024 at 10 a.m. Could I ask the clerk to take roll call, please?
Thank you, sir. Governor Lombardo is excused from this meeting. Attorney General Ford.
Here.
Secretary Aguilar.
Here.
Let the record reflect we have a quorum.
Thank you. Moving to agenda item number 2, public comment. The first public comment period is limited to comments on the items on the agenda. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this public comment period unless the matter itself has been specifically included on the agenda as an action item. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Public comment may be provided in person or via telephone. To provide public comment on an item on the agenda via telephone, dial 775-321-6111 or 702-329-3435. When prompted to provide the meeting ID, enter 587-528-79#. Dial *5 to request to be unmuted. Do we have any public comments here or in Carson City?
We do in Carson City, sir. They're at the table.
Okay.
Good morning.
Let's go.
Yes, good morning, members of the board. My name is Yvonne Navarez-Goodson. I'm the Chief Deputy Director for the Department of Taxation. While I'm here today for other matters before the board, I wanted to take this opportunity and public comment on behalf of the Tax Commission Chair George Kalesis and Department Director Shelley Hughes to share with you that this week marks the launch of the first phase of our modernization project. Known as Project Mint. There is an e-services portal associated with Project Mint for Nevada's taxpayers referred to as My Nevada Tax. We're proud to announce that this first release of the project was successfully completed, both timely and within budget, and the new system is currently running smoothly. We're also proud to announce one interesting statistic, which is that on day one of rollout, we collected $5 million in revenue and 0 errors with the system. So that was really great news. Phase 1 of this project provides new system functionality for both department staff and Nevada's taxpayers for certain tax types and licenses, including sales and use tax, consumer use tax, cigarette tax, live entertainment tax, liquor license renewal, other tobacco license tax, and other tobacco products tax for those licenses. A few highlights of the system for taxpayers and licenses within these tax types. They can update their account information, they can view and manage permits and licenses, they can conduct business registration and have account access, they can manage multiple locations for their businesses, schedule appointments with the department, manage their corporate officers, file returns, make payments, and close accounts as necessary. We're working with those taxpayers in this initial week that require special assistance with their registration or other questions or problems they might be having with the new system. But otherwise, we're very proud to announce this accomplishment towards modernization. We have 2 additional phases that are set to roll out in both December of 25 and December of 26, respectively. The department is also planning and hereby inviting your respective offices to attend some dedicated demonstrations of this new system after the first of the year. I have the department's project manager, Patrick Starr, with me today so that you may put a face to the name when those invitations come out. And with that, members, I just wanted to thank you for your support of this modernization project with various matters we've had before the board, and we welcome any questions you may have. Thank you.
Incredible. Congratulations. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to ask questions during this period. So, Amy, is there any additional public comment?
Yes, there's one more, sir, coming to the table.
Okay.
Good morning. My name is John DeCoco, and I would like to say thank you regarding the recent changes to the State Administrative Manual. I provided public comment at the October BOE related to Section 2630, decorating offices. And I would like to thank the Board of Examiners for reconsidering the proposed changes during that meeting. I would also like to thank the Department of Administration for revising Section 2630 in a way that I believe balances the needs of the state along with the well-being of Nevada State employees. Finally, thank you to the BOE for approving those proposed changes at the November BOE meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional public comment?
I'm not seeing any more, sir.
Okay. Any public comment in Las Vegas? Well, somebody has to have public comment. So you want to talk about their? All right. Any public comments on the phone?
No, sir.
Thank you. Great. We'll move on to agenda item number 3, approval of minutes. We will now close public comment and move on to agenda item number 3, approval of the November 12th, 2024 meeting minutes. If there are no questions, I'll accept the motion.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll now move on to item agenda number 4, state vehicle purchases. Amy.
Thank you, sir. There is one request under this agenda item from the Department of Public Safety, Nevada Highway Patrol Division, requesting approval to purchase 8 replacement vehicles for a total amount not to exceed $473,309. Are there any questions on any of these vehicles?
Are there any questions? Do I have a motion?
Move approval.
We have a motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
The motion passes. We'll now move on to agenda item number 5, authorization for an emergency contract with a current and/or former state employee. Amy?
Thank you, sir. There are 2 requests under this agenda item this morning. The first request is from the Department of Education. Pursuant to NRS 333.705, subsection 4, the department seeks a favorable recommendation regarding its determination to use the emergency provision to contract with former employee, I used to be able to talk, I'm sorry, former employee Heidi Hartz to manage COVID relief funds through Manpower. I would note this item is being brought back before the board for reconsideration from the November 12th meeting and has been revised to address the board's concerns with the length of time it took the department to submit the item to the board. The second request is also from the Department of Education. Pursuant to NRS 333.705, subsection 4, the department seeks a favorable recommendation regarding its determination to use the emergency provision to contract with former employee Martha Warachowski, so I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, to assist with administrative support through Manpower. Are there any questions on any of these items?
None here. You ready for a motion?
Let's take a motion.
All right. Move to approve.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 6, authorization to contract with a current and/or former state employee.
Thank you, sir. This request is from the Nevada State Board of Pharmacy. Pursuant to NRS 333.705, subsection 1, the board requests authority to contract with former employee Ryan Miller to provide training and coordination services through Marathon Staffing Group. Is there any questions on this item?
Any questions?
No, sir. None here. Move approval.
We have a motion to approve. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to agenda item number 7, request to designate positions in state government as critical labor shortages. Amy?
Thank you, sir. This request is from the Department of Corrections pursuant to NRS 286.523. The department requests approval of a critical labor shortage designation for correctional officer positions for the period of December 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. Are there any questions on this item?
Any questions, Mr. Journal?
None here. Move to approve.
All right, we have a motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to agenda item number 8, request for approval to pay a stale claim from the stale claims account pursuant to NRS 353.097. Amy?
Thank you, sir. This request is from the Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Public and Behavioral Health. Pursuant to NRS 353.097, subsection 4, the division requests approval to pay a total of $202,500 from the stale claims account for a settlement agreement for claims from fiscal year 2024. Are there any questions on this item?
Mr. General, any questions?
No, sir. Move approval.
We have a motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to agenda item number 9, request for approval of payment from the statutory contingency account. Amy.
Thank you, sir. The request is from the governor's office, my office, the governor's finance office, pursuant to NRS 41.950 and NRS 41.970. The office requests the Board of Examiners to approve a payment of $900,000 from the statutory contingency account to Kirsten Blaze Lobato, representing compensation for her wrongful conviction. Are there any questions on this item?
Mr. General, any questions?
None. Move approval.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to agenda item number 10, request for a recommendation of approval to the interim finance committee for an allocation amount from the contingency accounts. Amy?
Thank you, sir. There are 4 requests under this agenda item. Would you like me to take this separately or together, sir?
Together, please.
Okay. The first request is from the Department of Corrections. Pursuant to NRS 353.268, the department requests a recommendation to the Interim Finance Committee for an allocation of $448,228 from the Interim Finance Committee contingency account to cover costs associated with the peer support program and academy training. The second request is from the Department of Education. Pursuant to NRS 353.268, the department requests a recommendation to the Interim Finance Committee for an allocation of $154,634 from the Interim Finance Committee contingency account to continue supporting the 1/5 PERS hiring incentive program for Clark and Washoe counties. The third request is also from the Department of Education. Pursuant to NRS 353.268, the department requests a recommendation to the Interim Finance Committee for an allocation of $374,572 from the Interim Finance Committee contingency account to replenish the account for state special education services. And the final request is from the Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Child and Family Services. Pursuant to NRS 353.268, the division requests a recommendation to the Interim Finance Committee for an allocation of $823,120 from the Interim Finance Committee contingency account to support the adoption subsidy program. Are there any questions on any of these items?
Mr. General, any questions?
None here. Move approval.
Okay, we have a
All
motion
as
to approve.
articulated.
All right, motion to approve all 4 items. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to agenda item number 11, request for approval of land lease agreement.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Stevens.
The request is from the State Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, Division of State Lands. Pursuant to NRS 321.335, the division requests approval of a land lease agreement to Molaski Ventures, LLC, for occupancy and use of ground at 1054 Commerce Street, Las Vegas, Nevada. This item is contingent upon IFC approval. Is there any questions on this item?
Mr. General, any questions?
No, sir. Move approval.
We have a motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to agenda item number 12, approval of proposed leases. Ms. Stevenson.
Thank you, sir. There are 3 leases under this agenda item for approval by the board today. Are there any questions on any of these leases?
Mr. General,
No,
any
sir. None
questions?
here. No, sir. Move approval.
We have a motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to agenda item number 13, approval of proposed contracts. Amy?
Thank you, sir. There are 54 contracts under this agenda item. Please note that contract number 19 has been withdrawn by the agency, which is leaving 53 for approval today. Are there any questions on any of these contracts?
Mr. General, any
None
questions?
here. No, sir. None here. Move approval with the exception of number 19, which has been withdrawn by the agency.
All right, motion to approve the 53 contracts. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 14, approval of proposed master services agreement. Amy?
Thank you, sir. There are 15 master service agreements under this agenda item for approval by the board today. Are there any questions on any of these master service agreements?
Mr. General, any questions?
None here. Move approval.
We have a motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving to agenda item number 15, information item, clerk of the board contracts. Amy?
Thank you, sir. There are 41 contracts over $10,000 and under the $100,000 threshold that were approved by the clerk of the board from October 16th, 2024 through November 13th, 2024. This item is informational. Are there any questions on any of these informational contracts?
No questions other than to thank the athletic commission for all their hard work.
No questions. Thanks so much.
All right. We'll move on to item number 16, information item, reports. Amy?
Bear with me, there's going to be a lot of talking. I'm just saying, and I'm already trembling over my words, so I just needed to let you know that. The first report is from the Governor's Finance Office Budget Division. Pursuant to NRS Chapter 353, the division presents a reconciled fund balance report for the Tort Claim Fund, Statutory Contingency Account, Stale Claims Account, Emergency Account, Disaster Relief Account, and the IFC Contingency Funds as of November 12th, 2024, for fiscal year 2025. Additionally, a reconciliation of the Extradition Coordinator Budget Account has been prepared at the request of the board. So Tort Claim Fund is at $4,342,499.49. Statutory Contingency Account, $2,477,051.66. Stale Claims Account, $2,050,812.94. Emergency Account is $500,000. Disaster Relief Account, $13,043,674. IFC Contingency Unrestricted General Fund is $15,302,262.04. IFC Contingency Unrestricted Highway Fund is $1,638,068.35. IFC Contingency Restricted General Fund, $120,275,427. IFC Contingency Restricted Highway Fund, $19,142,217. And the Extradition Coordinator Budget Account 1002 is at $154,121.26. Are there any questions on this informational report before I go into the second one?
No questions here. General?
None here.
Perfect. So the second report is the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, Division of State Lands, fiscal year 2025, first quarter. Pursuant to NRS 321.5954, subsection 4, the State Land Registrar is required to provide the Board of Examiners quarterly reports regarding lands or interest in lands transferred, sold, exchanged, or leased under the Tahoe Basin Act program. This report covers the period of July 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2024. Is there any questions on this informational report before I go to the final one?
No questions
None
here,
here.
Mr.
Okay, so the last one, the third report is from the Governor's Finance Office Budget Division. Pursuant to NRS 284.180, the Department of Administration, Division of Human Resource Management, must prepare and submit quarterly to the Budget Division of the Office of Finance a report regarding all overtime worked by employees of the Executive Department during the quarter. The Budget Division shall transmit quarterly to the Board of Examiners the report and the analysis of the Budget Division regarding the report. This report covers the period of July 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2024. Is there any questions on this informational item?
I'm just glad the Secretary of State's office is not on these lists. Mr. Ford?
No questions here either. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We'll move on to item number 17, public comments. This is the second opportunity for public comments. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Do we have any public comments in Carson City?
Nobody's rushing to the table, sir.
Want to hear more about taxation and their system?
They left,
do that.
actually. They just left.
Oh, darn. Do we have any public comment in Las Vegas? Seeing none? Do we have any public comment on the telephone? Thank you. We will close public comments. Item number 18, adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, General. Have a good day.
Thanks, man.
Thank you
Take
all.
care.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.